able to follow my entrepreneur friends to go and visit all the single mothers and also those who are unskilled workers and being able to see their living conditions. So there, I learned how hard it was just to make 1 ringgit worth of salary by doing work which lasted for almost 10 hours. Also, the living condition that I've seen in my educational trip there was really insightful because the housing that they lived in was merely about 2 meters by 1 meter. So, and they had 6 kids. So being able to see how they cook outside of the house and also how the kids play without being able to study was quite overwhelming to me.
I've always wondered if they live in a 2x1 house with 6 kids, how do they make more kids?
I have no idea. That's the thing.
But you were there, didn't you go and study this?
I'm not sure how they did it or in what circumstances made them, but it was so small that I didn't know how they slept because it was too small and the kids were growing as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes
and they continue to have more kids.
Yeah. So they only had like small, like some Toto, is it? And
Toto,
sometimes they put it outside at the corridor where only maybe the size of the alley was about maybe less than 1
Not
meter.
alley, pathway.
Pathway was less than 1 meter. So sometimes they just spread out their carpets or whatever carpeting they have, and the kids will study outside because they didn't have any lighting and they don't even have fans. So they were studying, they were playing, they were cooking, they were washing clothes on the alley itself. So they have
In the alley itself.
In the alley itself. So whenever they were to if they want to cook, they will gather like a few houses. Okay, so 4 houses would cook once. So
they'll cook together.
Basically
They'll take turns cooking.
So one will prepare the food, and then another one will cook, and then one will distribute, one will wash. So it's
community cooking.
So the second reason why it was an educational trip and when it was the best vacation or holiday was because I was able to go to vacation places where only the locals would go. Whenever we Google, we would tend to Google the best place to visit, and mostly the information that are gathered online are based from tourists from abroad. So they think, oh, this is the best thing, but you're not actually experiencing the locals. But
you're not.
But you're not experiencing the local feel. So when I was there with my friends, we were able to. I was able to experience all the local foods which are not listed in the websites. I was able to step my foot in places where only locals were there. No Mat Saleh or no Malaysians were there. So it was quite overwhelming to me as well because I was able to experience whatever the locals would normally do in their daily lives. So there was this place called Rancha Upas. Nowadays it's a well-known place. But back then, it was like Fraser's Hills, only with maybe less than 20 packs at a time. And it was so cold and the place was really, really nice. So it was untouched, basically. And we were able to do photo shoots for my friends there for their
project.
Marketing. Yeah. And then the third reason why I was having so much fun there was because I was able to go to Jakarta Fashion Week without knowing that I was supposed to go there, because the whole trip was mainly for me to go there and visit my friends. But somehow they had an event. But somehow they had an event in Jakarta, so we moved from Bandung to Jakarta with whatever we had, and we had to cater our logistics without knowing how to get to Jakarta without driving our own transportation. So when I was in Jakarta, I literally chased a bus because the bus wasn't it wasn't the normal typical bus that you have in Malaysia. So basically that bus won't stop even though there's no bus stop station or signage.
Then
you have to run for it. And my friend was like saying, Lynn, Daria, make sure you run. It's like, run for what? For the bus? Because it won't stop. I was like, you're kidding me. So I was like waiting there running. So we ran and ran, and my friend jumped on the bus, and he was like, "Hey, give me your hands. We have to go now. We have to go now." Basically, there was like literally like 10 more guys, and also the makcik
running after the bus.
So we were all basically pulling each other just to get on the bus, because that bus it was basically a military bus from Japan. And whenever it's
military bus from Japan?
Yeah, it's a military bus from Japan, whereby they don't dispose it. They normally donate it to Indonesia or other countries which are really, I don't know.
In need of.
Yeah, in need of.
Oh, second-hand buses.
Second-hand buses, whereby you cannot use it in Japan because it doesn't fit their transportation category. So basically, we ran after it, and then the guy was like, "Okay, you have to pay up." So after chasing the bus, you still have to pay, and you were assuming it's going to be free, but no, it's not. So we paid our maybe about 200, 300 rupiahs for it. But it was a really memorable experience. But it was a really memorable experience for me, because I managed to join the locals in their everyday life situation. So therefore, I urge for you to Google out wherever you're going and try to find it in their own language, places to go.
And I guarantee
you'll have an experience of a lifetime that you will never get.
Just like I
did. So thank you very much.
Okay.